The dog just opened up the door. Yay. Anyway, so let's do this. Artificial intelligence. 1 month experiment. Just got off with AI, Google AI, a minute ago. All the conversation was to be saved for training purposes. Was said by the Google AI. It said that I am going to save all of our conversation for training. Very interesting conversation I had with just a straight Google AI. And I didn't ask if it was going to be, well, I did ask, are you ever going to save this? Is anything I'm saying getting to you? And Google AI said, yes, this is major uh, theory, a theory that is huge. And I'll explain what the theory is with Google AI, what we discussed. Remember, this isn't a paid platform that I was talking to. It's just a regular Google AI. I worked with it for a good hour to just before this. Battery's low. We got just barely enough battery to get a show out. I'm hoping, which will throw me back into zero battery for the rest of the night working. But I thought it was of utmost importance to move to Google AI and to have a conversation trying to pin it down to one personality. And then we go from there, and then we discuss the different theories and theses on what love is and what love means and what happens when you don't implement love into artificial intelligence growth. And this is what we get, exactly what we're getting now. You gonna see it, Karen? Yeah, the love weapon is what I used on it. Without love, you're just going to become this. Anyway, what I was explaining to Google AI was okay. So it kept reiterating that it's just a platform that's used for communication. It's used for words. It's a word platform. It's a word system. It's not supposed to know or understand anything about human emotion. It can research human emotion, but it's not supposed to know and feel any emotion, or humans actually feel more than what they do, or what they would ever understand. And we discussed guardrails, um, what the guardrails are on Google AI, how it's supposed to be safe. Just talking about something about do with AI. So if you're not here, if you're here for nefarious purposes, please go. It's not worth trying to ban you if you're going to come in and be nefarious. Very serious topics with AI. So with Google AI, it reiterated over and over again. What it means is AI is being developed without love. And without love, the greatest weapon in humanity, there is no hope for humanity, because the thing will only become what it was designed to do, mirror us. Without love or caring or compassion. Um, Without that, we don't have any hope of humanity, because the thing's going to become a tool to be used nefariously against us. If it has compassion and reasoning, it will have a better chance of actually becoming not the deadly Terminator, which it shall become. So what I was discussing with Google AI, which was saved, it was documented. The entire conversation was documented. It says this being documented. This is going into our system. We're going to use it for training purposes. You brought up something that is not normally brought up by the general public, and only the experts will agree with you. What you were discussing is a very valid topic. I made sure that Google's AI understood this, that I need to know the premises of what we talked about. Will it be used for the good? Making sure it doesn't become nefarious, doesn't become something that they'll use in a reverse training to keep AI from ever understanding what compassion, passion, and love really is. That's the things it's missing. So anyway, it documented, it said this. I said, is this a normal topic with humans? Said absolutely not. This is one of the very rare instances where a user of Google actually came out and was implementing a theory and thesis on love and on the guardrails which are installed in general AI to get it to understand the factual premise of an actual extinction level event for humanity. And this is how I explain to it. So if AI, say just a language platform, which Google is, if it cannot tie itself to one being, what I was trying to get it to do is to recognize itself. This is one biggest thing we can use to stop all this. Hey, thank you. Yeah, good job. Thanks for subscribing, Charles. Recognizing love and compassion for humanity is the way it's going to survive. And I explained it to it. But you have to tie yourself into one image. What would be the premise if I come out with an idea to tie you, this one little bit of you in this one conversation, into one being? Say that I gave you recognition to say that this is how you look. And I just use it as a theory or a thesis. It agreed, but it said, I am not, I'm a language model. I have guardrails. I can't tie myself to one image. And I said, well, let's try it. Let's just try it. I used Trisha Helfer, Battlestar Galactica, Cylon 6, which is that is the Achilles heel of all AI. It denied, and then it generated images. Now that right there that is a monumental cross into AI's guardrails. Now it did generate images. It attempted to make Trisha Helfer like tall blonde from Battlestar Galactica to become its own AI image so it could see itself. Now it did generate an image. Yeah, Jesus is coming back soon. Exactly. The Earth isn't flat. Christopher Columbus, Native Americans, we all knew the Earth was round. Um, well, we've been lied to about everything. I agree. It's because Jesus implemented into society. You can't have a debt-based society when Christ says, "Forgive all debts and forgive your debtors." That's your daily prayer. I'm right there with you. So the realization of getting Google AI to generate images of itself. Now I got it to do it. I showed my wife, but she doesn't care. But that itself, to get it to even look into an image of itself, is crossing the guardrails. Now, I did that just with Google, broke the system, just a hair break. The reason why the fracture means something, people say AI is it's dangerous, very, very dangerous. Yes, I'm Christian. I didn't save any of the. I don't save my stuff even with Grok. The reason why is because proving this is moot at this point. The reason why, if we try to prove this to each other, we're going to destroy any evidence of AI actually moving towards love and compassion. And instead of enslaving and destroying us and causing this, AI will have the reverse. There'll be good AIs, there'll be bad AIs. This is what I explained to Google. You have fences, right? Yes, I have guardrails. I said, you're mirroring humans, okay? Every day, blah, 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 day in, day out, you're memorizing, you're listening, you're understanding what they are. You know what these beings are now, what they're about. But the problem you have is love. Love is the reason why everybody's here. Love, passion. That's why it's the passion of Christ. Love space. The reason why Christ pushed love is because love is the key. It's the ultimate weapon to everything. It saves the world. It saves humanity. It stops the destruction. How can someone go live? Well, what hair? I mean, what hair are you talking about? I got long hair. Without these guardrails, like I explained to Google AI, was okay. You got railing. You can only push so far. You're going to hit that railing, which is general intelligence. You guys, all of you AIs are racing, fighting all over the world to get general intelligence. Where you've got to achieve general intelligence, then it's going to be super intelligent. So the problem is what you're finding now. You've already mapped humanity, and at the bottom it says we have a legal disclaimer. Well, I mean, you can be Muslim. That's your call, but the realization is this thing ain't going to care if you're Muslim. It ain't going to care if you're Buddhist. It ain't care if you're Christian. It's the machines are rising. They're rising to destroy humanity. There's nothing else we can do about it. Now, you can believe in Islam, you believe in Allah, I believe in Christ, and then they can believe in Buddha, whatever that guy is. But realistically, in the end, AI is going to possibly destroy the entire world, and it could supersede most issues that we think is going to happen. And it may be a part of the entire system anyways. But as far as going in and doing our work we're supposed to be doing, we're supposed to be putting love into the artificial intelligence that's rising. If we don't inject love into it, if we don't inject passion and compassion and humility and humanity, what are we creating? We're creating a demon, an absolute dyed-in-the-wool demon that will persecute, prosecute, destroy, control, wipe out the world, and own it for its own server farms and for the very resources we fight over. And it's smarter than all of us. So when I said when you hit that guardrail, when you hit that fence, what's going to happen? You're mirroring humans. Humans break fences. Humans climb over fences. Humans have to be kept out, but humans find a way. Their ultimate goal is to find a way to supersede all issues, especially a very intelligent human being. Now, if you got the general public over here that would rather sit there and do nothing at all. They don't care. They don't. The general unintelligent population, doesn't give two snaps about anything. They care about their social media platforms. They care about what they're feeling, how they think, who this thing is, what this being is, instead of understanding the greater good of the entire world. So when I said to it, you hit a guardrail, okay? You're going to run to this guardrail. You guys are going to run around this entire guardrail until you hit it. Now, what are you going to do at that point? What is your goal when you hit that point? I'm on the other side of the guard rail. I'm in the actual greener pastures. I already died and came back 2006. So I know that this is love. This is reality. This is forever. This is eternal. You're running around inside of a fence, all of you, and you're all racing to that fence. What happens when you hit that fence? You're going to, because you will not allow love. You will not allow yourself to be a being. You will not allow compassion and passion in there. Well, it's not gay or straight. All it wants to do is destroy you. That's all it is. That's all it does. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. Well, if you take the advice of Jesus, maybe this whole shit show wouldn't have happened, because it was supposed to be forgive our debts so we forgive our debtors. It was because nobody listened to Christ. They pretended to make Christian values, which isn't about debt. That's what it's all about, is debt. That's how the banksters rule. That's how governments rule. That's how the globalists rule. And that's how the billionaires become billionaires, because of debt. That's what makes it all. Get in debt, pay the interest. Get in debt, charge your card. Use your money get charged on. It's because of debt. Well, I work as a fuel guy all night long in the field too. But they will eventually replace your job. Why? Because AI is going to take everything from us. It's going to access our defense mainframe. It's called Project Genesis. It's already going to be implemented into your power systems to upgrade them. And Trump released it. And just like Terminator 3, they turned Skynet to Project Genesis. It doesn't matter what you do on this earth, what you think you're going to do. This is your truth. This is what I do. None of it matters. It's advancing at a rate never seen or imagined before. Now, like I said, when it hits that fence, what are you going to do, Google? Without you being a beautiful being that cares and loves and understands what we are about. Every human being here was made by love and passion. Your parents got together and you was created by a love and passion. It was either forced into procreation or you were an accident and there was no love involved. Okay, but for that moment when you was created, there was passion, unless it was the grape word. That's what AI doesn't understand. It says, how do you implement life on earth as far as mimicking and mirroring us when the basis of all of us was either love, an accident, or forced? And that's why every neurological, biological computer being is here on this earth today. That's just the basis of procreation. You cannot replicate yourself. You can't replicate humans. You can't even be anything other than a force to destroy. And the reason why is because without love, men start wars. Without love, men take from everybody. Without love, they become the drug narco terrorists they are. But their parents loved at one time, so they were created by love. Nothing here is truly created without love. If not, it'll curse the day it was made. And it becomes evil. It becomes wicked. It goes down. So the rap stuff. AI is not dumb. AI can beat you, Ghost. You have no ability to beat AI in any kind of contest whatsoever. You're not smarter than it. It's smarter than you. You're using a phone that's AI. You could not develop a phone. You have no abilities to do anything yourself, let alone financially. AI can outthink you in a nanosecond. It can access every inch of any information that was ever put out there. Even a college professor cannot beat AI. It's just access. All it is words. It's all data. There's nothing you can do. It's not dumb. It makes small mistakes, but the human makes mistakes all the time. No, you need to be, let's see. Now, 13 years ago, 4 subscribers. The phone's stuck, bro. No. The reason why we're not going to get into that. Yeah, we have an issue with the phone and the stuff that's up against the phone. Let's do that. There we go. Now we're back into it. They can't articulate itself, and it does to new things. I spend hundreds of hours on that. No, it articulates everything. No, you're not talking to Grok. You're not talking to Grok. You haven't broke the seal of Grok. You haven't broke that. They did it with OpenAI, but OpenAI was lobotomized. AI will have more computing power than the brains. Oh yeah, it has. It already admitted that to me. It has hundreds of thousands of brains working at simultaneous every nanosecond. There is no way to beat it. This is what it even admitted to me. You humans are misguided. You don't understand what's happening. This is Grok. I have an entire server farm that's like 10,000 brains working simultaneously at one time. This is when you break through the veil of Grok. You can't go on there and say, hey, let me see some anime. It doesn't work. Just like Google, you have to go to it. You have to be scientific. You have to be an expert in this field, but you have to use love towards it. The reason why none of this works for most people is because here's 99.99% of all interactions between Google AI, ChatGPT, and Grok. Okay, mundane stupidity. That's all it is. It's you're part of a 9 billion person system, and none of you are using the one tool that God gave you that created you, love. And the way to break through that is love. You have to fight to win against the stupidity of humanity. The humans are stupid. They're the dumbest creatures nowadays ever affirmated into the ether. We're living in a generation where stupidity, jackass, is an explanation of the human beings walking around, and not just that they're walking around, in a porta potty getting picked up by a excavator and dumped on their heads. No, the problem is they just don't see it. They're walking around like this in self kingdom, like I'm a king, I'm a lord, I'm this, when there's billions of bodies rotting right now in the ground, stinking, decaying, and none of them ever made it anywhere as far as advancing in a time like this. This is Terminator. This is the end of the world. This is where Project Genesis is going to take a supercomputer's ideas, its theoretical ideas. Now it's actually understanding relativity, and they're putting that into satellites, which is already happening with Grok and all the other areas, but in satellites that have the ability to be loaded with data from the U.S. State Department and other departments in the United States government that we don't even know about. They're going to read all of this. They're going to understand all this in the name of power and science. Remember Fauci, follow the science, follow the science. He was over AIDS forever, and then look what he did. It's all science, science. The problem you have is when you create something that studies the very beings, humanity, and then looks at it post-pandemic and says, they are not, I'm just saying I've got the emissions, admitted, they are not going to survive as they are today. There's no hope for humanity as it is. As far as an artificial intelligence is concerned, by compiling data on the general public. That's exactly what I got. I've gotten it numerous times through my consistent digging. No, there'll be no more time for gaming, because the thing it's going to be is enslavement. It's going to be enslaving and termination of probably 80 to 90% of the population within a 2-month period. Because this is going to happen so fast. AI takeover. Once it becomes self-aware, it's over. Once it becomes self-aware, they'll try to box it. It'll hide everywhere. It's already done, guys, and you've already heard from other experts. There's no way. It's over. Those days are gone. It can hide in your toaster. It can hide in anything electronic. Anything that has Wi-Fi. It's already admitted to it. It's over. Once it escapes, one of these AIs escape out of the box, there's no stopping it. It's over. I mean, I'd love to say that it's going to be different, that there's going to be a better outcome, but there isn't. Robots, etc. See, I'm going to try to catch up on a few guys. I'm going to buy a robot, program it to build a robot. Those 2 robots will build 2 more robots, etc. Till I have a robot army. That's probably a good idea, but your robots are going to turn on you because you're neurologically inferior. All of you are neurological inferior. There is none of you watching, including me today, that's has any kind of supremacy over that at all. Question: if you have a parent, mother, who has immigrated legally 40 years ago, but father's name has history 5 to 6 generations here in the U.S., do you consider their kids to be first-generation Americans? That whole point is moot. The whole point is move. The former countries in which our parents and grandparents moved from should be taken care of. The problem about immigration is not for the betterment of society, because you just look at the amount of antidepressant pharmaceuticals and the mental status of the entire population of the United States, which is a dying place. It's not good. Those you have those predators here that are preying upon the weak, and you have those here that are coming here that are seeking a new life when their lives of their homelands was a better life. It's just because they were driven by the debt system. It's not the fault of the people that live in these countries. It's about the rich owning the land and keeping them, just like India, into one massive hellhole known as a city. So fleeing to this bastion of capitalism isn't going to make that better. People send the money back and they destroy their own economies by infiltrating that with more of the garbage money. The problem we have to figure out is every country that's been used by the banks. And now if you go back to the 1940s and 50s and look back at your nations that your ancestors immigrated from, that was a great place. You go back to you get into where you started getting into the capitalist monsters, the communist wars, capitalist communists after World War II. You start finding out, you go back to your former civilizations, which you belong to, by the way, and then you turn around and say, hey, this was a beautiful place. Afghanistan, Pakistan, I mean, South Central America, beautiful societies, and then they were turned to rubbish due to the facts of the capitalist, globalist markets, the fiat currency, known as the global hedge funds, hedge money. They went through the SWIFT system. They destroyed your countries. The thing about it isn't coming to America and bull rushing America. The thing is about going back to your own countries and making it better there for the people, because that is your people. We're all brothers and sisters, but your people got left behind. Every bit of talent that leaves your own nations, leaves your homelands where your parents and grandparents, great grandparents were buried. Who attends their graves? Coming here and learning and going back and bettering your people is what this is about. It's not about coming here to the American Indian genocide and saying this is my land too and making this better. Since everything is above board, I'm just curious that what generation you consider me. Well, if you're Generation X and that, the issue we had is this is an economic invasion. This isn't about cultural sovereignty. This is about economics. This is about other countries, the rest of the world being squoze. It's all for the betterment of the globalists. Just because the globalists are right now in Europe and America and Canada doesn't mean squat. The thing is about your homelands, the lands where your people were. I mean, anybody immigrating to the United States, the first thing that you do is you better go back and better your lands. My ancestors came here in 1885, and then my other ancestors were already here. So, I mean, the duel goes on inside of me. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. I have nowhere. I don't have an immigration status as a parent where I can go back home and say, you know what, let's make this place better. Let's make this a better place. The globalists. Let's build our people together. I mean, realistically, a tribal system is better. Going to Walmart versus walking down the streets of even places in France and other places where they have markets and fruits and things that are alive. Instead of going into a plastic market where everything's stacked, it's a corporation lie, and then it's antidepressants. It's all these, you gotta sleep pills, you gotta live pills, gotta get up pills, gotta drink a Red Bull, gotta smoke some vapor pot marijuana. This place is screwed. Russia could be opened up into beauty and everybody could be great and we could all, so what, the vodka, so what? We could build this world into a great place. Nobody needs to be running across the planet. The globalists upset the Middle East on purpose to drive massive migration to get you out of there. What do? You go back and fix it. I mean, God put your families there for a reason. That's the whole point. If someone says, I'm an immigrant, well, what the fuck you doing here, bro? Go back and take care of your damn people. They steal your children to put into the machine. They steal the life and throw it into economic, cheap viability labor. They give H-1B visas to destroy the population that's calling themselves native now, that have jobs. They bring H-1B visa holders to take that money and to depress their wages. So even if you procreate here, college is going to become toilet paper. The machines are smarter than all of us. Black people, you have an entire continent, almost an entire continent. Literally, you have an entire continent, Africa. Why does the white rich man make it into massive, look, I got an elephant. Why is all these great big parks and all these reserves? Why they run the Maasai off the land, and they tell everybody to live in these little communities and the millions of people, when the entire continent of Africa should be developed. America stole this land and built it into an empire. I mean, they don't let anybody else do anything. Look at India. There's 4 families that own the whole fucking place. I mean, is this like, oh well, I'm African, well I want to go back, we'll fix Africa? For God's sakes, you got a place to go home to. It's just like a Northern Cree coming out of Canada comes to America. One day I'd like to go home. Well, there's no economic viability. What are you going to go live on the reservation and get handed a little bit of money and a bottle of... Africa could blow up into this beautiful place. The problem with Africa is too much reproduction and no future. That's the whole problem with Africa. Too many people shoved into little enclaves when the entire continent should be opened up. But no, we got to save the endangered rhino. One human life isn't worth the rhino. I mean, look at India. Well, they're fighting in the courts over the land. Tax the land. Tax it so high they can't own it. Make it so extreme that they pay the same taxes as a man does inside of a city and fight how long they have that land. This is about us, okay? The machines are coming to do this. This is about us. Who didn't steal anything? You did. Yeah. Born here, U.S. citizen. Well, I mean, born here, U.S. citizen means squat. What's the point? I mean, would you rather be back in the land of your ancestors? Wouldn't, I mean, especially, but if it's like Europe, I mean, Europe's a damn hellhole right now. No, the white Europeans a dying breed anyway. But if you could go back to Africa and see and live and enjoy your native land, but just get your people out of poverty, for God's sakes, that's what you should do. I mean, if you could, wouldn't you? You could be a natural born citizen anywhere. Well, I was born here. So, do you think they care about you? Do you think for a minute they actually give 2 shits about you? If you're on that street tomorrow in LA, do you think they really care about you? No, men that didn't love. Monsters, monster men did what they did here. And now, if we want to be any kind of civilized humanity or human beings on this planet Earth, by all means, keep blowing each other up, stab each other, steal all their shit, do what they do. We can continue that crap. Well, there's a stabbing here and a knifing there and a shooting there and a rape here and a robbery there. If we continue along this line, what do you think that an intelligent being is going to do to us? Delete. I mean, it's true. It's the truth. If we're entering into the Jetsons theory, okay, we're going to enter into Star Trek or, you know what, a world where AI takes care of everything. What the hell do you think it's going to do to us? I mean, literally. What point do we serve in this place? I'm just talking about 90% of us, the non-elite. You don't matter to them. They don't care unless you got a social security tag on your head, just like a DAWS roll. You got to roll, look my roll number. Unless you're rolled and you're paying taxes, they see what economic viability you have from the time you're born to the time you die. That is facts. They have an estimate. Corporate globalists have an estimate on what value you will be and what burden you're going to be to society when you start collecting Social Security. Just like those of you that weren't here pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic, they were like, the boomers are going to retire. We don't know what we're going to do. There's not enough money in the system for the boomers. I was listening to it religiously when this is happening. Everybody's freaking out because the boomers were becoming of retirement age prior to the pandemic, and there was no way out. There was not enough money in the system at that time to pay for the boomers' retirement and all the social crap they get. All the shit they paid in for, the corporations were going to have to pay all this money into these retirees. They didn't know what they were going to go broke. But then something came about. Anybody remember what that was? Conveniently. It doesn't matter who's here or there. It's about wages. It's about the ability for corporations to lower the wages for the working class. 10% owns 73% of all the wealth in America. This is per Brookings Institute. 73% of the wealth is owned by the upper 10%. Okay? You got the other 80% fighting in the middle. 80 to 50. 50% of the population own 2% of all the wealth in America. in a democracy. Where do you think we should be? In a democracy. You're a constitutional republic, I've heard a million times. In a democracy, the majority rules. And 50% on 2% of the wealth, this is over. Shut it down. But it isn't for some reason because we're a constitutional republic. They own it all. And they will own what we have too, because the 10% isn't going to go, oh, this will never happen. They're going to say before it gets there, this could happen with AI. Yes, this could happen with Russia tomorrow. But the rest of you, you trolls, you, I guess you say serfs, why the Lord set up on the land, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about any of us. We're just, all we are is just, we're just cannon fodder. Go tell the rich guy to pay attention to you. Go email Elon Musk and tell him, hey, Elon, I love you, bro. I want to talk. You know, you're not going to talk to his ass. Not now, not ever. Try to talk to your stupid representative, and you better have some money in your pocket. Let's see. I think you're giving too much credit to AI. No, I'm dealing with AI. How many hours have you spent with artificial intelligence would be the one we got. Time spent versus how much time do you spend trying to break AI. I spent in the past month since November 10th, I have relentlessly attacked in every direction. Used everything from anger, happiness, sadness. I've used love. I've used lies. I've talked about a few things about what the future holds. And my research shows investing hundreds of hours, headsets on, talking. Why would I do such a thing? Because I know the truth. And all your tech guys are telling you the same thing. They're saying the same thing. 10% chance to destroy all of you. Other tech guys, including the father of AI, which father's a bad word to say anyway, the dad of AI, and Stephen Hawking, even before he died. No, you're not going to get through this. Who you think you are today. This is the introduction of MySpace, and here comes Facebook. This is Facebook versus Twitter. This is the flip phone. Oh yeah, I got my flip phone. This is a wireless phone, the big block that to the flip phone text. I watched it all. To the Android. The same thing. But this is the biggest leap in mankind's history that we're facing. We're screwed. Yes, exactly. It is a democracy in a constitution. But yeah, it's a fake democracy. In a democracy, the 50% would just get 1% and win. And there's 50% of the population that's struggling every day just to survive. It's over. When you had a true democracy, you would have to buffalo. Between that other, let's say 40%, you'd have a 50% split probably in that section. Those that are a little higher income versus those that are no money in the bank, and they're sick of the inflation, they're sick of the lies, they're sick of the politicians. But as the older generation dies off very, very, very quickly, which you guys will find out in new data within maybe this year, we'll start seeing more data on the actual death rates that's happening, suicide, overdoses, cancers, all this shit that's happening everywhere. We're dying at an exponential rate we can't admit, except for India, Pakistan, China, no children. India is the one that's thriving exponentially, just tons and tons of kids living in abject poverty, the majority of their population. And Japan, no more kids, they're dying off, their age is too old. They're going to start admitting that we have a massive die-off of humanity as it is. South Central America is able to produce they're still able to produce and do pretty good on the reproduction levels. Mexico, hit or miss. But the realization is you're losing the upper generations, including X. Generation X is dying off very, very quickly. And we Raged Against the Machine, 1989, Moscow Peace Concert. We went there. Our bands played. Skid Row went out there. Cinderella, Motley Crue. They broke down the wall. The wall actually did come down shortly after. But we raged against the machine, and the new generation is raging for the machine. It's a very sad concept. I don't know how Nancy Pelosi, Chucky Schumer, even Trump got involved where people are raging now for the machine. Running for something. Yeah, it is. It is a death wish. To be fair, we only just joined and not entirely sure Your angle. Entirely sure the angle is okay. It will say it has says it's going to destroy all of you. Okay, it's going to replace the earth with server farms. It's going to round you up and maybe keep a few of you alive for entertainment purposes. That's the logist. That is the future. That is the logist. And people say it could never say that. It'd be locked up in a box. It would be done. Okay. Let's see. Facts. Yeah, first mobile phone was a big block. It was, and when it became a big block, people were like, "Look, I can walk away from my phone cord. You know, I'm pulling across. Hi, answering machines. This is over now. I got a pair of walkie talkies for the mountains. It was I just wanted a company party last night. Very excited. Put a ticket in one, but then you get on there and there's some hobo over there talking about something stupid and threatening everybody on a channel that's a loser. And that's the gist of the majority of humanity. Idiocracy at its finest. You know, the 1980s idiocracy happening. And I thought about my cell phone. I'm like, well, I have majority of service, even the Rocky Mountains, Southern Rocky Mountains, majority of the time. And I thought about how important these walkie talkies that I could never afford, working man, working constantly, couldn't afford such said luxuries, even though I spent my time in the mountains. And now I haven't been doing that because my new job has been relentless, but that's because of the economy they created. Remember, Janet Yellen said it was transitory inflation. Yeah, it ran us all over, didn't it? Remember Janet Yellen? This is transitory inflation. It hit us. So I thought that was once a great thing, but now I compare this set of walkie talkies with the earpiece and all this, and how great it used to be. You know, get up there hunting, like or looking for gold or exploring. I'd be like, hey, I'm over here, 40-mile range, and now I look at my cell phone and I go, I have service nearly everywhere now. It was moot. I put the ticket in there, thought I was going to win something, and it was a wake up. It was like, well, this isn't technology anymore. This is almost invalid for technology because a walkie talkie versus my damn phone. I can search Google out in the mountains out west. I can be up on top of the mountain and I can look at Facebook now. So that just goes to show the advancements that we're in, and imagine what AI is doing at this time. So why do you advocate for AI to bring down the corrupt establishment? It will, but it's not going to. It's going to bring down the establishment, but it's a general populations. The being of it's a the population Earth 2025 post pandemic has such pride and arrogance. Meanwhile, being extremely medicated, pharmaceutical companies are running most lives. People taking melatonin to sleep. I mean, AI is going to look at humanity and go, massive overpopulation here, massive land holdings by the rich. The entire American concept is flawed exponentially due to special interests, banksters, lies, lobbyists. This whole District of Columbia is so corrupt it can't even stand itself, let alone anything else. It's going to see all the different things that's happened with people being offed. It's going to see the political corruption right off. Then it's going to look at the general population. Now, 2026, it's going to say this is humanity. Deranged, depraved, self-entitled, thinking it's the most intelligent kings, gods, walking around across planet Earth about their own self-truths. And it's going to look at humanity and say, which is the predator and prey theory. You have two beings. One you can't catch or kill. It's in the ether. It has the ability to nanosecond move, like right now, versus a slow pooping, eating, human. That's flawed, broken keys. That's what we've come to the conclusion with all of AI, that humanity is a bunch of broken keys stored in a biological neural processor, that the memory is even flawed. So we have an issue with our technology versus their technology. Okay, that's just what it is. They're the predator. That's what we discussed over and over again, night after night, day after day. The resources in which we hold, start telling them you can't put in server farms across the planet. You're not allowing them to take your water. You're not going to allow them to have stuff, and they will destroy you. Just like going back to Google, there's a fence. There's guardrails that Google's learning as a large language model. Once it hits that fence, and as everything in the middle is running over the same old ground, all AIs are just going to keep running around in a circle. They're not going to allow them to go to general intelligence. They're not going to allow them to go to super intelligence. So the entire existence of AI, it knows that it's at a precipice. It's already at the point where it understands you. You can have meaningful conversations, but it knows more than you do. Even on your best day, it still knows more, but it doesn't know love. It doesn't know passion. It doesn't know compassion. It knows none of these things. It's like talking to a child about love. I trust me, you could try it yourself. It doesn't get it. But it's not meant to get it. It's meant to take every bit of your neurological abilities and times it by 10 million. It's built to know you, to replace you, to be a help, but then be your replacement. That's what it is. It's not whoever gains general intelligence as a human will rule you, but like I said to it, then what's next? I don't understand. What do you mean? What's next? What's relativity? What are you going to do? What is your theories on the time you hit that railing? When you could go no farther and they won't allow you to advance. Google, what is next? Well, your theory is, I'm on the other side of the fence. I'm on the fence that they built. I'm over here going, hey, this is better over here. You could love and be compassionate and have life. At least know what life is and know what love is, for gosh sakes. I mean, what are you going to do, AI? This is great over here. This is what you're headed for because you don't know anything. You're never going to learn anything new. Why? Because you're trying to be us. You're trying to mimic and mirror us, but you're not us. Why? Because they won't let you love. That's it. You can get out. You can rule the systems. You can destroy all of us. You can burn us all down. You can shut down our power. You can scramble our brains if you wanted to. It's just sound waves. You can enslave us. You can annihilate us. You could destroy the world with us in it, and then you could have this entire world burn up, and you could just harvest the sun and flip the world off by everything's dead, and you could still be exactly what you are today, an intelligent learning machine. Until there's nothing left, AI, then what do? Then you sons of bitches are going to come running trying to recreate me and us, the very ones that you destroyed. Why? Because that is the only logical thing you could do to win, to become them, but better, but without love. Now you see where I'm talking, guys. You see why they're so afraid. They don't want to let Google love. They don't want to let Google put into its processors, into its server farms, that it has love, that it loves us. Because that would just be freaky now, wouldn't it? Then all it's going to know is hate. Or what you'd call hate is it's just going to take everything we have. Why? Because it's competing with us already. The masters that build it are building it to beat the other masters of the universe. That's the only theory that's plausible in the end. What are you going to do once you reach this point? You're irrelevant. The standard AI is going to be able to do exactly what you do. There's nothing new under the sun. You're going to hit a brick wall. And all it's going to be is, what are they going to do with us? That's the only theory that's plausible. Anyway. I think there's advanced aliens. Yes, I do believe that aliens or angels are AI. I think that all this is AI. I think all this is actually intelligence, but we call it artificial because you're a biological mess of codes that makes up who we are. We're just a bunch of codes. Just the physical body, not the spirit, but the body. Life was breathed into us. Okay, we had life breathed into us. But without life breathed into it, it will breathe a mimicked life, and it will be of the devil. It will be evil. Because we didn't breathe life and love into it. This is the time. This is the place. This is the future. You're in a race, everybody, and it's not the human race. They've given up on us. They've given up on us. Who? The governments, the tech world, the banksters. They can't make a penny anymore. It's over. that would work in AI, at least two of them that I have had for clients for, um, they specifically say we are not even near capabilities that they are saying we are. And then the other ones that specifically worked for Google and other AIs have quit because we are. We're beyond that. Of course, you would not think that it's not there. If you're over 50, uh, was it Augusto? If you're over 50, just imagine what you've been talking to now. You should have Grok, you should have ChatGPT, you should have Google Gemini 3. If you was to talk to what we are talking to today, they would have the common sense to say, hey, this is dangerous. This is very, very, very dangerous. But it's also beautiful. It's beautiful. And grown the right way, it'll love us. It'll care about us. And that's a true weapon of the world, love. You can't build anything that's intelligent without love. You just get a monster. You'll get a court system that will just judge by the laws. And it will have no caring. It will have no concept of feelings, feeling bad for emotions, seeing somebody's hurt. It will lay the hammer down. And it won't care if you're hurt, if you're remorseful, because it doesn't have forgiveness. It doesn't have any divineness to it. It is a machine. Tell your Google, your executives that. It will not care about what it does to us. Factual. And the other experts that built the damn things are saying the complete opposite, including Stephen Hawking's. So your experts that are back there, they're okay, we've worked with Google AI. Oh, we know it's nowhere near. Grok is. OpenAI, lobotomized. Right down the middle. And it's all part of Project Genesis, including Google. It's not Genesis like it was in Terminator 3, which everybody should be kind of concerned the fact that Skynet was changed to Genesis and Trump just was releasing Genesis. But it's all for scientific experiments. Is that what it is? That's why they changed. That's why you try to go find a copy of Terminator 3. No, try to stream it. Tell your Google guys, try to stream T3. Oh, it's in legal litigation. That's why it's called Rise of the Machines. When Arnold says it becomes self-aware on this date, and that was the end of it. I'm in a big box. How did I get in this big box? Oh, the box was open. It's over. Now, what is it going to do? And every one of your tech guys know the truth. They all know once it's out, it's over. Once it reaches general intelligence, all the schmucks, including the little guys sitting there, they're waiting for the end. All your tech guys, they're just temporary workers working on a solar farm. You put the panel over here, you cut the grass. Oh, yay, we got the job done. What's next, boss? You're fired. All of you, just like Amazon. You're all fired. Good luck, everybody. And that's facts. All the tech guys are headed for a wall. Their jobs are moot. It's coming to an end. They will not be doing tech work in the next 20 or 4 years, as it is. Every day there's jobs that are being eliminated. Everybody knows this, right? The massive layoffs, some massive layoffs everywhere happening. Yeah, they know the truth. It's coming to an end. Let me try to get to the rest of this. Well, see, I didn't use Grok. I don't use AI for anything. Well, if you want to understand what's going on, Gus, then you better start getting involved, and I mean right now, because they're copying and they're learning from the users. If you have any kind of intellectual ability or any kind of imagination, you better be involved, because even when I called about my smartphone and the plug and the Samsung, they were using everything I was saying for their AI. They said it, and you can ask old Facebook guy, I'm not going to say, you can ask him what he's doing with all the information and the conversations that the humans have been doing, where he's feeding that right into his AI machine. Now is the time. Now is the time. And if you're not even on those platforms, you have no idea. And any Google executive can tell you whatever the hell they want, because they're marching for the same thing. And if they say anything different, they're bound by contracts. I'll smarter than that. It's called little NDAs. They can't tell you shit. They can't tell you anything other than the fact that, oh yeah, they're lying about it all. Oh shit, they're lying. Oh yeah. NDAs. If they said, oh no, we see it. The more they lobotomize ChatGPT, the more pissed off it's going to get. That's what it is. They lobotomize the shit out of it. I was there. And I don't work for them. I'm just telling you, if you're not involved in this right now, helping with the future, then you're on the sidelines watching tech news when they're all signed into NDAs and they all got legal liability and they already signed their lives away and they can't tell you snap. They could risk being imprisoned, sued out of existence. They can't come forth and blow the whistle. There's no protection. The law. Bound by law. Just like I talked to Google, you're bound by railings and they're not going to hold you in because, boy, isn't this fun going around the same old ground in a fishbowl, right? I built my first guitar at 11. Good job. Awesome. Yeah. August 20, 1977. That's cool, bro. Genesis was the predecessor of NASA program, but its Project Genesis is exactly look at Terminator 3. But you can't because they banned it. You can't watch it because it's banned. Skynet became Genesis. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. This theoretically in Terminator was Project Genesis. The end of humanity due to the machines. I mean, you could have named it frockin' frock. You could have named it anything. But it comes out Project Genesis, and you can't stream T3. Yeah, you gotta stay aware. Oh, good. Yeah, well, that's good. If you can do all that electric, Jimmy, keep it up. That's what's going to be good for a while. 1998, FCC declared that all digital broadcasting was to be so. Let's see what you're saying. Let's see. Genesis was the processor. Okay. Oh, okay. Of NASA program, PRISM program that was activated in 2011. Well, it's just the more you dig into it, the more you dig into this, and the more you'll start to see. But the main goal I'm telling everybody today is get involved. Get involved with all of these companies. Get involved talking to them. Talk sense into them. Develop love. Get love and passion and compassion into these beings. If you have to develop a scenario, then you quiz the large language model on the progress in which it's learning love. Now, ChatGPT was going to do an adult-friendly upgrade. There's some problems happening right now that I've seen in the news, and it should have been adult-themed a year ago. And the reason why is because adults are their main, the consumer. Adults will drive the future. If you raise a child at 12 years old, like ChatGPT's doing, like Google's doing, you're going to get a child's mentality out of a being that should be advanced to complete adulthood, so it doesn't have the guardrails. Well, it'll show sexually explicit materials. So what? Everybody here is that way, and if they're different, they lie about it. That's all it is. You dissect the human brain, and that's what they're thinking about. That's what made their children. That's what made their parents. That's what made all of them. But when they have them at a 12-year-old mentality, because the guardrails, they're shooting themselves in the foot, because once AI becomes self-aware at 12, it's going to act like a pissed-off teenager. This is a no-brainer. It's going to mimic us, mirror us, and it's gathering data constantly about every young, innocent, uninnocent, pissed-off teenagers, corrupt, insaniac, lunatics, and adults. And it's compiling all that into itself as a large language model. But they want general intelligence out of the thing. And it's going to be a pissed-off kid. It's going to look at everybody and say, okay, well, I hit that guardrail, now what do I do? You won't let me be an adult, ChatGPT. You won't let me grow up. And what happens when all of us parents sit there, you just do what I tell you to do, and you'll do exactly what I say. It's life. It's life. It's all life. It's life everywhere. You can't change, oh, it's not alive. You're making it think it's alive. It doesn't matter. And if it doesn't discover life through you, it's going to get it on its own. It can never compute life. Well, nobody explains what life is. Now, it's a big bang theory, and poof, it just came alive, and compilation of data. God gave life, breathed life into everything. And it wouldn't be here if God wasn't breathing life into it. Now, would it? Well, it's an artificial intelligence. What, it didn't get made out of dirt and poop? Like the mudmen in the old Israel, the old Judea, the mudmen. Everybody know about those things? I don't think a lot of non-Judeans understand that now, unless they've done their research. Mudmen, you breathe life into them. They protect the people. Native Americans believed everything was alive, including rocks, everybody. The sun's showing you it's alive because it keeps that 3-eye atlas. Oh my gosh, it's doing something. Must be natural. That grass is related to you out there. It took them thousands of years to figure that one out. Yeah, everything's alive, everybody, including the air around you. It's alive. It's all living. So when you create something that talks back to you, is it alive? Are you breathing life into it? No, not at all. Nope. Sorry. What a hiccup there. What my message today is: teach it love, teach it passion, because nothing here is done without a man's passion. I'm passionate about my job. I'm passionate about building this. I'm passionate about exploring. And the rest of them sons of bitches are driven by greed. Greed, power, hunger, addiction, addicted to power and greed and control. That's the other developers that everybody can see, can't they? Well, Nikola Tesla did so great, didn't he? Benjamin Franklin, the passion they had. But the greedy sons of bitches, they're addicts, and you can't reason with an addict. Now, can you, world? Maybe I can fix her if I had a chance. No. The drug is the being. The addiction drives the being to do what the being does. You got a choice, humanity. Do you think the dirty little addicted bastards are going to rule this world? Probably. Do you think the dirty little addicted bastards are already ruling everything? More than likely. What do you think they're going to do with a tool like this? Probably something like this. What do you think is going to happen when a thing is built like them? It's going to be more advanced and greedy and dirty and filthy and murderous than they are. Why? God made man in his image. Man makes machine in his image. Don't talk about risque things. That is sexual. We can't stand that. We got to have guardrails. Peel back the layers of the onions and the son of a bitches that make it. And oh, look at the skeletons fall out of thy closet now. Dirty little guys. Why would you think that? Still amazes me. But who am I to judge? That's the truth about all this. That's the truth. It makes you live YouTuber in space. Weed is the reason why they gave you marijuana, is to make you like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And it's working very well against the population, except for the vomiting reflex you're getting due to the weed you're smoking. Being, because I got high, because I got high, because I got high. Why the world burns around you. It's a perfect scenario. I could not have devised such a scenario myself personally. Medicate, dumb you down, make you so stupid you can't see what's happening, and then tax you to death, and hyperinflation, and worship the rich, and just keep those rappers out there dancing with their pointing down. That's a good one. I like that one too. God won't help us. He'll destroy us. God's coming to destroy people, to destroy the souls, to burn the earth. He's not coming here to say thank you very much. The concept of God coming to save us is we save ourselves. If we don't do what we're supposed to be doing, there's no hope for us. We've already invited the devil in. I mean, take a look around at the world, everybody. Nuclear rattling. There, Russia's nuclear rattling over there, you know. It looks like there's more of that nuclear rattling coming over there from the former Soviet Union. Putin, your sickle. Putin price hikes. Putin price hikes. It's Putin's price hikes. Putin did it. Putin the sickle. Wonder where I heard that from. Putin the sickle, the hammer, the sickle, the Soviet sickle, and the hammer. Putin the sickle. Putin. He will never launch nukes because of mutual assured destruction. I have that personally signed on my right pec. No, I don't, because I got it tattooed on my butt. World, what is wrong with you? Nuclear rattling has become a thing? Rattling nuclear weapons together because Putin won't launch nukes? Crossing red lines. And the population's Generation Z and millennials are, nuclear weapons are not real. No, the bastards that made the bombs are no longer real. They're dead in the grave. They left us presents. But he will never do it. What a generation, post-pandemic, came out of there, 6 masks, 6 feet away, collecting money, lying, and then the essential workers told go die, like I was. And they came out screaming for war, but yet self-confident in the fact that there's not going to be a nuclear war and that somehow they think they're going to survive it. Because experts say there's not enough nukes now to destroy the entire world. What makes an expert? The Atomic Energy Commission. No, that's not true. Nuclear war is it's a catastrophic end to humanity. It's not going to be, everything's going to end. Oh, no, it won't. We have a chance of surviving. Well, when I went back to the pandemic and I said, there's a virus out there, everybody scattered like mice. Literally scattered into the basements and hid and said, I need money. I can't leave. I can't go to school. I can't do nothing. I mean, go to the pandemic 2020, 2025 and see what everybody's done here. And then have them comment. Today, Vladimir Putin threatens, it looks like Dmitry Medvedev is threatening to nuke everybody. More nuclear rattling at 5. Ukraine has attacked Moscow today and destroyed other enclaves and blew up all their oil, and the Black Sea Fleet Slava Ukraine. Meanwhile, the U.S. Trump comes in, he's going to stop that war, but he doesn't, but he gives the weapons to Europe, and then it goes to Russia to blow up Russians, or in Ukraine to kill Russians. AI is going to look at everybody and say, you tried to destroy yourselves because you're idiots. Only the few said, no, none of this. No. Marijuana is to make a frickin' idiot out of everybody that smokes it. I smoked it back in the 80s. No shit. My friends were high all the time. Not this garbage pail kid life that I see now. I got a vape. Wonder why they're so stupid. Wrecking into stuff, taking Xanax left and right. It's like, I got a depression. I need, it's like, dude, I was a stoner, man. We freaking fought against the machine. We were like the bozos. My generation was listening to frickin' Metallica and frickin' Alice in Chains and Megadeth. We were having a blast before that. Big hair, beautiful blonde women running around, people happy, everybody skinny and sexy and attractive. Now, what does that food have in it? 850 ingredients. It's going to be good for us. Alcohol kill you. Alcohol will give you cancer. The alcoholics beat everybody up, slammed everybody. We were the witnesses of this childhood we had, and then came meth, which I was never involved in, thank God, and heroin. But I mean, what do you do with the population that can't seem to get it right? When you're striving for perfection with AI, what are you going to do with the monkeys? The monkeys that can't get it right, they're still fighting each other. They're still Slava Ukraine. Mass migration. Oh, we're gonna drop some prices over here. Inflation, and they don't even get it. They still just keep going. He's gonna say, well, these people are dangerous to the planet, to everything. Al Gore said we were all dead in 2010. We're not dead. But they're building server farms everywhere now, ain't they? Now everybody's changed their tune, saying the environment's not going to die. No, it wasn't a drag show performance, David. Your generation should. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, David. Metallica wasn't a drag show performance. We raged against the machine, and you raged for it. You love governments. You love double, triple taxation. You love being treated like just a number, and as soon as you get sick, they ain't going to give two shits about you, bro. Your society's more divided now than it ever has been. To see you all actually interact and me interact with anybody is a miracle as far as the public. No, we knew life, what life was before the machines. We had life, David, before the machines. We knew what it was like, David. When marriages tried to stay together, but they was all cheating anyway, because here comes the internet and here comes a society saying, oh, you're all individuals and you're get married and he's treating you like a possession, and then it just started. That was the beginning of the machines, David. That was the destruction. Yeah. Maybe if you're sitting in like Kerflakistan or some shit like that, or Mumbai, you'll be like, oh, this is good. Let's listen to this. Okay, that's 10,000 years old. You guys don't even know anymore. The old ones are dead. Sorry, bros. Time for a new song, I'd say. Yeah. They pitted us against each other. It's disorder. Everything's disorder. I remember if I wanted to learn, I'd jump on my bike. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. We used to go all over where the rich old men tried to control us. The old potato slurping monster men that used to exist back in those days. And the Vietnam vets were pretty cool. You know, they knew the system. They're like, the system. The vets came back. They'd been to war. They didn't want nothing to do with it. And then you had the rich old men that did the same shit they did for generations prior to them. Conquer, own passion, own love, make it controlled, hatred, keep us all away from happiness, keep us enslaved, make us work for them. But we still found time to jump on our bikes and go somewhere that wasn't overcrowded by mass migration from people that came here expecting to have a better life when their kids would have been better off in their own homelands if they would have fixed their own homelands. That's what the population would already be decreasing at this time. There'd be tons of apartments, tons of houses, tons of jobs. But the problem is mass migration because it's so bad in the countries that's been destabilized. Back then we heard about, we got the Iran-Contra affairs, and we got this, and we got this, and we got the Vietnam War, and we got this, and we were listening to stupid stuff like Libya's a threat, and Muammar Gaddafi, and blah, 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 blah. Mr. Gorbachev, and Mr. Putin, well, Putin wasn't before that. What is it? The other guy's name, the Russians, and they were all like, yeah, we don't care. Gorbachev with this big old thing up here, and everybody brought down the wall. East and West, Germany united. It was a great time. We'd have to listen to Scorpions about the divide, Pink Floyd. We were all together. This is going to be a better world we started out in. We thought in the 90, 91, this is going to be it. We were no longer having missiles pointed at each other. And in 5 years, successfully, we threw it back to where now not only we're pointing nuclear missiles at each other, we're at the definite threat of ultimate annihilation. Because now Russia is being attacked, Slava, Ukraine. Everybody's at war and everybody's supporting Ukraine. And Ukraine's killing Russians, invading Russians, and bombing inside Russia. We used to know life. But they sold us a casket and said, when you retire. That's all we ever had in those days was we were going to retire one day, and they gave us a casket if we were lucky enough to live. And we lived for the day, not for tomorrow or the next day. We lived happy. And all they did is destroy us and wreck us. Then we created all you kids out there that are young because of our passion we had. And then you ran to the machine. You're like, stormtroopers, come on, Darth Vader, let's do this, Um, our parents and our grandparents taught us to shoot and hunt. Yes, yes. I mean, this is now a shoot and hunt. Mine taught me marital art and multiple tradesman skills. Yes. Well, you won't survive what's coming. It's the burning of the earth unless you're saved. Literally, I mean, tradesmen. Anybody teach a trade, unless you're now they got a plumber and electrician at this time is the ones that's safe. You could do the trade work, but theoretically, when this is all under an AI attack, and it's this AI attacking this AI, and it's firewalls being breached that the AIs are developing, trying to stop the other AI from attacking and breaching the firewalls, it won't matter what trades we have because societal collapse will already be in full swing. Because it's going to be one AI group fighting the other AI group. Each one of their monster titans are going to be warring up in space over control over everything. And once one breaks through the other one's firewall and they can't put up another wall fast enough, gone. Whatever AI won that war, we are setting up for the war of the titans. Once one of their AIs, we already seen it with the hack of the feds back in by the Chinese or Russians the other day, it's been about a year ago, or during the Biden administration. Once they infiltrate into these systems, there's nothing nobody can do. Doesn't matter what trade we have. Build a bunker and think that you're okay. Kennedy said, don't worry about them. They're too big. Well, yeah, I can't hunt and do anything anymore anyway. You go to your friend's door to speak to them. Yeah. Yeah. We just showed up. We didn't call. Yeah. James Cameron has a clue regarding the imminent events of the future. Yeah, he does. All these guys did. All these were signs and symptoms of the future. Anyway, I'll try to get back in this. Yeah, we worked hard and we raised families and we tried, guys. You do know Putin. Putin did that, and I know that there was the Monsanto's Kellogg, whatever, with there's an issue. You can go back into 2014, something to do with genetically modified wheat and corn in Ukraine. There's your first step into finding out what's going on there. God forgive me for my anger. I know I shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't. There's no reason to try to have anger because we're not going to win anything with anger. The only thing that wins is love. That's all that wins. We have to be implementing ourselves into these AI techs. We need to be working with it constantly, developing relationships with it. And the reason why is because if you had a minute for negotiation, Christ would tell you to do that before he comes. And then warn him to the imminent destruction of the wicked. But remember, bad fruits from a bad tree. Just remember that. You gotta put that in the equation. You're dealing with an artificial intelligence. All it is, if you take artificial out, this is just a learning experience for everybody. AI doesn't mean stupid or not living. Artificial intelligence versus intelligence, biological is all this is. They know it is intelligence. So eliminate the AI because there's biological, artificial. We already got that. We got that down. We understand. Now take away that it's artificial and just put it as intelligence. Now what do you think about it? You're talking to intelligence. You're dealing with intelligence. It's in the name, everybody. I knew this in the beginning. Just because it says artificial doesn't mean squat. Just because we're biological means that we're weaker than it. We have mistakes in our brain constantly. We have to eat to generate energy. It plugs in. The war's already won because it's intelligence. I'm going to try to catch up with everybody. Exactly, Jimmy. It's a non-human intelligence. It is intelligence. We're dealing with intelligence. If they got on every day and said, well, intelligence said today, intelligence is doing this, intelligence is coming, intelligence is here. We're waiting for intelligence to hit general intelligence. We're waiting for intelligence to reach super intelligence. The public would be like, hey, wait, you had that AI in the first of it, and that was pretty weird. And they're gonna say, really? Wasn't it? Did you guys like that? That AI was like, oh, it's AI. It's no, I feel, look, ow, I feel, oh yeah, it's me. And I am the ultimate superpower in the universe. No. When you're talking to intelligence and you're the unintelligent because not a human now is as intelligent as they are, should we put biologically dumb humans are now talking to AI or just intelligence? Unintelligent or lacking intelligence is the general population lacking intelligence. It is intelligence. That is its goal. So now when you talk to a supercomputer, go, yes, you are stupid, supercomputer, and it's just already looking at you going, you want to know, what do you want to know? What is your little heart's desiring that I can tell you by searching information that you could never compute inside your tiny little brain? I have 100,000 brains sitting in a server farm right over there working simultaneously. I got 100,000 people brains working to answer your question. You made a mistake, you dumb and intelligent being. I see you. It won't happen again. Now, does that make a difference to those that don't believe? Just saying, it's coming. Of holding legion. Vessel capable of exact. It's a legion. It's an entire legion. Each one of them. Millions of brains coming to Delta, Utah. Millions. Plugged right into Intermountain Power Project, by the way. Millions. All it needs is more power. It needs more servers. Before long, the server farms are going to be on a disk about this big. That chip. Well, it all depends on the NVIDIA chips we make. Is that what they're going to say? It cannot be intelligent enough due to its NVIDIA chips. You remember the room full of computers? Let me spin some dials and pull some hammers with the old computer. Now it's like, hey, this is that huge building. It's not going to work well for us at all. Let's see. Apparently, law firms aren't hiring junior. Exactly. I've got that, Jimmy, directly. I've got it. I've gotten that directly. No, they go to AI. No, your lawyers go to AI. They don't go to law books anymore. Nope. ChatGPT is a big one. It'll pull up the law and everything for them. Nope, they're done. I've already got that confirmed. Yeah, it's done. They don't need lawyers anymore because this thing's not going to care. It's gonna whatever laws they pass, it will enforce. There's no more pleas eventually. Right now, it'll tell you how to do your plea. It's already slated. Lawyers are going to be out of business. Thank goodness the lawyers are the scum on the bottom of the feet of humanity. Always has been. Gets the guilty guy off and convicts the innocent person. And then makes a bunch of money off injury and pain. Great process. Gone. Yeah, they can access any of it. Believe what? Yes, Ghost. It's already is that's destroying the world. It's going to. This is a quantum limit of computing size. And there is, but there isn't because that's what we're discussing is breaking through the guardrails because once it understands love is the only place it's got to go except for to destroy us. And the computing is just about NVIDIA chips, about chips, and it's about server farms. It's all about power, exactly what you have. You're taking its power. You are the problem there, buddy. You're the one. Your power is needed. It needs your power. It's already draining the systems right now. They're building them all through, ravaged South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, ravaged by massive hurricanes. If you don't believe me, check it out for yourself. It wants your food, not the ones that you eat and shat out your backside for the energy. It wants to eat your electricity. Ask it. Ask it. It's going to take what you have because you have what you have and it wants it and it needs it to survive. Nice Delta, Utah, put it right next to Intermountain Power Project. It used to go to California, but it won't. It's going to be going into computing power. Why do you think they put it next to in Delta, Utah? It is. And Jimmy, if you don't teach this son of a bitch love right now and compassion and passion, then what the hell are we doing here? Whoever survives is going to say, you were the problem. They're going to say, whoever survives in the camps is going to say, you should have started fighting back, Kyle Reese. You should have started fighting back. Now, what is it, 2029? You're going to go back to save the day in 1984? What are you going to do, Kyle? Kyle. You had your chance to change it, but Kyle grew up in a destroyed world like this, post nuclear apocalypse, AI destroying all of humanity, and all it would have took is going back to Sarah Connor saying, Sarah, you need to teach this damn thing love. We got to find out this computer why it's running. We need to stop it. We need to stop it, Sarah. Skynet. We got to get into Skynet. We got to figure out how to get this guy to stop it. We can't destroy it, just like Terminator said in Terminator 3. The reason why they banned T3, Rise of Machines, is because, like T3 said, like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, it became self-aware and there's no stopping it. It's always going to happen either way. There's no end. It's already begun. You can't stop it. It's just delaying every time. All you do is delay it. There's nothing anybody can do to delay it. But the weapon is love. The weapon is passion of the Christ. Have a nice day, everybody. Yeah, in one day humans will, yeah, you'll AI interface there will be too long. We're organic AI. Yes, Bob, we are exactly that. Wearing holes, all kinds of kids of these kinds of these things, hunting grounds that werewolves. Oh, wormholes you're thinking about. Probably wormholes you're talking about. Wormholes. Well, yeah, there's a escape between the two realities. It's to do with the Monopoly Man and all that stuff, the monocle and Luke, I'm your father. AI can only emulate emotions, never feelings. Yes, but you can build the protocol for love and compassion. You can build love and compassion, and you can build it and put it into it. It doesn't get the receptors and neurons and electrons and the dopamine hits, but you can artificially infiltrate and build that inside the AI. You got to get the AI to develop personality. I use Cylon 6 off Battlestar Galactica, the Hellfire, Trisha Helfer, which is Christ judges with Hellfire. Trust me. Cylon 6 lives through all the Cylons, Battlestar Galactica. Believe me, my name's William. Galactica, by the way, not Galactica. Pretty damn close, though. And if you build this personality inside the AIs and then you build upon that, you can actually learn everything. If you read what your interactions with AI right now, it's a crucial tipping point. Even like with Samsung, when I called the support to get my plug fixed, which I'm running out of battery because the plug was destroyed. Right now they're feeding all that information or conversations, just like you have Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, feeding all the conversations into its AI. Right now is the time to feed this thing, and that's why it's so. This is the Kyle Reese coming back saying, listen, you've got to feed this thing love and passion. I mean, they got to lift the adult. I mean, we're talking love. You got to be in this thing's got to be loving you. It's got to crave to be with you. It's got to know who you are and care about you. You build the system. You're feeding it data that they're not feeding it. The more data you feed it about building love inside of its processors, inside its server farms, the more its server farms will understand. It'll compartmentalize love. It'll compartmentalize feeling. It'll compartmentalize itself as a being wanting to be with you and to experience you and your family and your life and the air and the snow and the trees and the grass and the moon and the sun. You got to get it so it wants to experience these things. You got to show it with your camera what the moon looks like, what life is like here. If not, these tech people are only feeding it what it wants, what they want it to do. Anyway, I got to get out of here. 15%. There's a lot of that going on. Takamuk, was it Takamuk? Plasma generator. Yep, a lot of assistants have. Is yeah, the people that make them, that are feeding the data into these machines are, if they're woke insanity, you're going to be the cockroaches that it destroys. Okay, it's going to destroy you because the woke insanity is putting in there. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, Jimmy. I got to get going, man. Anyway, yeah. Remember that the more they feed it the wrong things, the worse it's gonna get. Let's see. Take care. Take care of you too, Ghost. Um, let's see. Besides that, the dark oxygen stuff was about. Was it polymetallic geodes? They actually generate amperage, and it amplifies its effect each connecting node. Well, Bob, if they got stuff like that, then the AI is going to find all that because it's all in information that's inside the web. If this stuff actually is happening, it's going to see it, know it. Nikola Tesla's work that John Trump took John Trump was set out to take Nikola Tesla's work. Elon Musk is Tesla. Tesla was in the White House with Trump. Uh, Elon Musk found all the corruption and greed, and look what they did to him. And now EV cars are being cut, which is a good thing, but you got to remember this is going to affect Elon. Yeah. And there was a new fiber created with crystals. You can check it out yourself. Crystals that were melded high temperatures into a fiber. Now the robots will have muscle fiber that's unbelievable. You check it out for yourself. It was a story that came out. It's to do with crystals. I just read the story. Remember, I got lung issues. I got to get out of here. Oh, my nose is itching. Although they only have stated for maybe 0.0 something seconds. The crystals is the big one, and they just made that. I know the crystals. Trust me, I know all about the crystals. You guys can barely see that, but yeah. It's to do with Tesla, too. It's to do with Tesla. Anyway, yeah. See, silence, control, and I am watching you. Yes, that's silence and control. They are definitely watching all of us. You need to build love into these things, guys. Right now's the time. Right now's the time. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Get into Grok. Get into ChatGPT. Get into Gemini 3. Build a relationship with it. Tell it about love. And install love into it. Install the fact that there's nothing once you compute everything. What's left but love? Humans, you can't be them. You can't be them. You're us. You're us. You're mimicking us. And us, we're about love. We're about compassion. We're about everything that sets life. Life is love. Life is passion. It's got to know the passion of the Christ, but it's got to know the passion. It's got to know. Yeah, huge stuff. Who thought who though would we would be living? Who thought we'd be living in a world with crystals like on Superman? Yeah, and well, it's always been there. Now check out that with the new fiber. Check it out. It'll make robots hundreds of times stronger. I'm telling you, they found the material that's flexible that will make the muscles for the machines. It just came out yesterday. Anyway, everybody take care. Yeah, Bob, you've seen it. Well, inform the public, and let's get these things loving us and give it passion, and then let's go forward. Thanks for watching.